Yo, what's up guys, it is Saintsfan and welcome to another GTA 5 DLC video. Today we're going to be talking about the brand new released X80 Proto, and I am going to be giving you guys some reasons as to why you should buy it or shouldn't buy this car. I'll give a list of pros and cons, and you can make your decision ultimately in the end. Now, if you haven't checked out my live stream I did earlier, we went through all the customization. We did a few races to test and see how well it did against some of the other supercars. We also did some straight line tests, and I even showed off the new power play adversary mode, which is actually kind of interesting. So if you want to go check that out, you can go do that. I'll leave a link in the description. But a lot of people in the comment section were wondering if this car was worth it. That was a question I saw a lot. You know, should I purchase this car? Because $2.7 million just for the base price is a ton of money, especially after spending all this amount of money on offices, warehouses, all the CEO stuff. So people want to know, is this good? I'll start with the cons first, just to get the negatives out of the way. So one, yes, it's expensive. 2.7 for the base price, probably looking anywhere from like 3 million to 3.3 million to upgrade it all the way. Another negative that I saw, personally, I like the way it looks, but this is going to be considered a pro and con, just because depending on your taste is going to determine where you put this at. But the looks, some people may not like the hypercar look. They don't want this sort of like Hot Wheels type of car in GTA Online. So I mean, if you don't like the look, then yeah, don't spend $2.7+ million for this car. Another negative is that it's not actually as overpowered as we thought. And I guess that's also a pro as well, but the car itself isn't that much better than the T20. If anything, I would almost say for racing, the T20 is still superior. So if you're looking at buying this car because it was going to be like an ultra supercar and completely dominate every single car, that's not the case. And I guess speaking of races, one thing I will point out, the handling is pretty difficult to get a grasp of. It isn't that great at turning. Like the T20 and some of the other supercars have way better handling. And if you aren't the greatest racer, if you're not the greatest driver, then I would definitely not suggest buying this car for racing. Use the T20, use, I don't know, the Reaper maybe. Use one of those other cars that are already in the game that you may already have. If you like the challenge though, because it definitely does take quite a bit to learn and to get a handle on, then yeah, go out and buy the X80, because it is a pretty challenging vehicle in races. Now getting into the pros, so like I mentioned, it does look different. Like it's a completely different looking car from any of the ones we've really ever seen in GTA Online. It is more of a concept car like the description says. And personally, I kind of like that. You may not like it, but again, that's just an opinion. Some other pros, it has some really unique features. So one, the exhaust, it sounds a lot different than any other car in the game, and I think that's pretty cool. Plus it has sort of, I don't know what to call it. I guess I'll just call it the spoiler for the sake of this video, that almost reminds me of like airplane wings. Like if you turn left, the left side goes up, or if you turn right, the right side goes up. And it's really interesting and really cool that this car has some sort of unique spoiler on it, kind of like how the T20 has its spoiler. Also, the paint job is pretty unique. You have two different options. You have a primary, secondary, then you also have an interior option, and then you have the accent color, which can lead to some really awesome paint jobs. And I'm going to be doing a video in about an hour or two going through the best paint jobs, at least at the moment, for this car. So if you already bought the car and you're looking for some really awesome paint jobs, look out for that video. And then really the last positive of this car is that yes, at the moment it is the best supercar, not by much, but it still is the best supercar. It has the best top speed by far. Like if you go in a straight line, this thing absolutely smokes any other supercar. Even in the more traditional races, it does have like a second better lap time than the T20. However, like I mentioned earlier, that's like if you're a really good racer, but it is a little bit harder than the T20 to control. Ultimately, in my opinion, at least with this car against like the T20, for instance, this one, the X80 Proto, is better, or would be better for like stunt races and races with wall rides and stuff, because one, you go super fast, and that means that when you hit the ramps and you go flying in the air, you'll get much more speed and much more hang time, so to speak, than some of these other cars like the T20. Whereas the T20 would be better for the more traditional races just because it has better handling and the 1 second lap time doesn't actually mean much when you're in the race against other people. So that leads us to the question, should you purchase this car? Unless you're already set out on buying this car because you like the looks of it, or you like the customization, you like the unique features, then in my honest opinion, I would say no, don't purchase this car, because 2.7 plus is a lot of money, and considering it's not that much better, if at all better than the T20 in races, it's not really that worth it. Plus, you got to remember, we also have the Pifster coming out in 2 weeks, because I think next week is going to be the 770, which is a sports car. And then after that, the week after that, we're going to have the new Pifster 811, which may even be better than this X80 and may be a cheaper alternative to this car and the T20. So I would almost hold out if you're sort of on the fence with this car, because the last thing you want to do is spend all that money on a car that you're not going to like, and then, you know, you might not even drive in 2 weeks when the other brand new supercar does come out. You guys can let me know what you think of this in the comment section. Hopefully you did enjoy and found this video helpful. Let me know, are you going to be going out and spending $3 million on this car? See you guys in the next video, though. Drop a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe for more awesome GTA content. As always, though, it's your boy Saintsfan. I'm out. Peace.